Hello, hello, and welcome to Put Me On, where it's all things college and corporate. And I have with me a superstar student, a former student, now an employee. But she has done amazingly well for herself during her college years. So I will hand it over to Abidemi. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, so hey everyone, my name is Abidemi. I am the founder of Scholist App, a scholarship platform helping students keep track of scholarships, discover scholarships, and also, find and search for scholarships. Also, I also work at Dell as a systems engineer, so I do have like a tech background. And a little bit about me, while I was in college, I was able to graduate debt free with over 60 scholarships, totaling $200,000. And now I'm just like on a mission to help other students, do the same.
That is so incredible and so
Thank you.
inspiring. Like 60 scholarships and 200,000 US dollars. How can you tell us your journey? How did you get into this position? And for those who are
Yeah,
listening that might not know, she's also an international student.
yeah,
So if you're feeling like I'm an international student, I can't find scholarships, like here is the blueprint.
yeah. And I definitely want to kind of like give like a tidbit that like a lot of international students actually feel like maybe scholarships, they would never get a scholarship. And I was once like that. Like I remember in my sophomore year, because I was at the time I was at University of Houston, and I just wanted to like find a way to pay tuition. And everywhere I searched, like every scholarship site would say like US citizen or permanent. I'm sure you can relate, like I would always see that. And it was very frustrating. Like I remember calling my friend crying, like I just felt very defeated. As international students, we're go-getters. We want to like
Hmm.
make sure we situated ourselves in a different country. So for me, it was very frustrating. And then I remember calling my friend crying, like, "Oh, I just feel so helpless after applying to several scholarships. I didn't just apply to one. Probably I had applied to like 30 at the time, and I just wasn't getting any headway. And after that conversation with my friend, I think my mindset changed. Like my mindset right now is apply to anything, even if you don't qualify. Like legit, that is my mindset in so many things, like whether it's jobs, because a lot of us like kind of like psych ourselves out, like, oh yeah, I don't qualify for this, or this doesn't apply to me, and then you don't apply. You miss 100% of the chances you don't take. So those I think that really was my mindset going in, and then I started applying to scholarships. Like I would say I would apply to two a week. Like it was I had like a system. Like I would find a scholarship. First of all, I subscribed to every scholarship platform out there, to their newsletter. So I would get like their newsletters and like apply to the scholarships. I also applied to a lot of organizational scholarships like NSBE, SWE, and I got all of those ones as well. But my first scholarship was from the university. I think it was a $20,000 scholarship. And that's the thing about scholarships. The minute you get one, you're like, like you just want to grind more. I don't know what it is. It's like
Addictive.
it really is addictive. Like I swear, applying to scholarships for me became a hobby. Like I was doing it all the time. And then even like it's not just scholarships. I'm also good at getting internships. Like when I was in college, I got over 4 internships, in tech. So it's just kind of like, tech, oil and gas, just kind of like I'm just addicted to opportunities, finding opportunities and applying. So which kind of you are
Good
as well.
addiction. That is a good
Exactly,
addiction.
exactly. So for me, I was just like applying to two a week, and then after I got my first one, it was like, okay, I kind of like multiplied it like three a week, like, and then after I got my second one, I was like growing. After a while, I just had so much money that there was money given back to me. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
Yep.
imagine
Like the
having so,
refunds.
yeah, exactly. Like I had so much money. Like, I can't even think that. Like, sometimes I look back and I'm like, in college, I was bawling. Like, I was having a good time overall. Like, it was really a good experience for me. Like, just applying and like getting those, and some of the scholarships like came with internships. Some of the scholarships I got flued out. Like I got flued out to Michigan for Dow. I got flued out to I think somewhere in Houston. They put me in a hotel for BP, and then like one other one for Shell. Like just it wasn't just about the scholarships. I was getting like seen. People were like
Connections as well.
connections, exactly. People were like begging me to actually work for their company. Like imagine someone begging you as an international student to work for them, you know? So like it opened doors that I feel like I never would have seen if I didn't get those scholarships. You know, it just opened doors in a different way for me. I even got a Microsoft scholarship as well. So just kind of giving you the idea of the kind of scholarships I was applying to. Obviously, my GPA was quite high, so I'm not gonna pretend like, oh, I didn't have a high GPA and I was getting those scholarships. Like my GPA was high, my essay was good. You know, like I feel like I really put in effort in terms of my essays. And now I'm at the stage of my life, like I'm done with college. I've gotten a job. I've been in corporate America for almost 4 years now. And now I'm just like helping other students. You know, like when I see someone and they feel like they don't know where else to turn to, you know, like I had a friend that right now she doesn't know how to pay her tuition. She's thinking of getting loans, but because she's international, she can't get loans. She needs a
Hmm.
cosigner. So things like that, I
Oh,
think really breaks my heart. And I'm doing the best that I can to help other students, whether it's international or domestic, to get scholarships.
absolutely. That is so good, so inspiring. I feel like everyone who is doing something beyond themselves, you've had that moment where you feel like helpless and you're like, you know what?
For sure.
You either like stay with it or you rise above it. And
For
like now you're
sure.
doing something so amazing, helping other people. And you said
Fair.
something about like are you good? You are fine. Yes, it's going around. You and me both. You said something about your GPA being quite high and
Yeah.
like you didn't want to like tell people like, okay, it's not like I was a terrible student.
Yeah,
What do you feel
exactly.
like are some common misconceptions from like applying yourself or helping other people that you have seen? Some like common misconceptions about scholarships? Because some people say like you don't need like a high GPA, they're like low GPA scholarships. But what are
Yeah.
some other
I mean,
things that you
there
find
are
that
low
is correct?
GPA scholarships. Like I think one misconception is that a lot of people think that scholarships are only for smart kids. And that's not true. There's scholarships for sports, there's scholarships for knitting, scholarship for horse racing, you know. So I would say that's number one misconception. Number two, I've seen where like people that maybe have a lot of money don't want to apply to scholarships. I mean, I understand that, you know, you feel like, yeah,
Hmm.
you don't qualify, but like at the end of the day, it's your essay, you know, it's kind of your essay. They look at the whole picture, you know, like
Hmm.
sometimes you like there's scholarships for people that are from middle income families. You know, it's not
Hmm.
all they're not only scholarships for people from low income. There's also scholarships for middle income families, and I think that's a huge misconception as well. I think those are like two major ones. Also, maybe like your essay. I think some people just think they're just gonna write like an essay and then they'll be good. They'll be good for scholarships.
Hmm.
No, like your essay kind of, I always tell people when you write an essay, really back to yourself. If you will give yourself scholarship, then you're good. If not, then you need to rewrite it. So I think those three are like three major, I guess, misconceptions I've seen so far that I can think of. Yeah,
Those are good. Yes. Like you mentioned like knitting scholarships. I've seen some ridiculous scholarships and
for
I'm
sure.
like, we're giving money for this?
Girl,
I wish I knew this skill or this.
that's what I'm saying. I think people just really like now for me, like I'll be like, oh, I'll look at a needing scholarship. Let's say I'm someone that needs a scholarship. I'll look at a
Mhm.
needing scholarship and I'll be like, oh, I don't qualify. What do you mean? Apply. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel like apply regardless. You know, like
Mm,
you most of the time, a lot of people don't apply. So they just give it to the only person that applied. You know what I mean? Like maybe
true.
there's a scholarship for needing and one student applied. That one student is gonna get it, you know, because no one else is applying. So like apply. You just never know. There's so many scholarships out there. You don't have to take out loans to pursue your education. There's so much money out there. So yeah.
That is actually so true. That is actually so true. So you talked about like essays. I'm just curious, what are some tips that you've acquired over the years when it comes to like writing essays for scholarship? And I know some scholarships also have like interviews. So if you
Yeah.
can speak to that, like essay writing
Yeah.
and interview.
Yeah. I think I only had one scholarship that had an interview. So I can speak more to the essay writing.
Okay.
For me, kind of what works for me is scholarships are usually recirculate the essays, right? They reuse
Mm,
the essay questions. Like it's usually maybe like, what are some of your obstacles, or why do you want the scholarship, or why did you choose this major, or what are your long term or short? Like they're usually like maybe five
mhm,
major scholarship questions. So what I do is I have a Google document of those five major scholarship questions and my answers. So
mm,
that kind of increases my quantity of scholarships that I apply for. If I know that those 5 major questions are going to be asked, I just copy and paste, and I'm applying to like 2 to 3 a week because I already have the essays done. I just need to
Mhm.
copy and paste it into. Sometimes I get stumped and I do get a scholarship that asks like I think it was Google scholarship or Microsoft. They will ask something different, like maybe diversity or something. So then I have to like craft it. But then what I do is I copy my answers from that, put it in the Google Doc. So if there's any other scholarship that asks for those kind of questions, I just copy and paste. So I think that's really worked for me. One thing about me, I know how to be efficient, right? Like
Mhm.
I have like a extension on my Google Chrome that allows me to snooze tabs for later, so I can snooze a scholarship that I see for like Saturday or Sunday when I'm free,
That
So,
makes sense.
and now that I'm working, I do that for grants now, like now I've gotten over, how many grants have I gotten? But I've gotten over 107,000 in grants, So just kind of like, it's the same method. Like scholarship, applying to scholarships is like applying to grants, So it's the same thing.
So these are like skills that you're using even in your
Yeah, and
everyday adult life.
even in my everyday adult, like people literally message me like, "Oh, can I help them like apply to jobs?" And I'm like, "I have a system, like I can get you a job. You just need to. It's like you need to consistently do it. You can't just like apply to one job and I'm like, oh, that's it. You need to apply, keep applying. If it doesn't work, you change your resume, you apply more. So that's kind of really been my strategy for sure.
That is so good. Definitely like keen keen in on like the number of like scholarships or even jobs, like the number of jobs you apply for. Like
Yeah.
make sure you're doing as much as you can. I think that's
Exactly.
something
Exactly. No, for
good to
sure.
do.
And I think people always say networking is good. I believe networking is good as well.
Mhm.
People are always like, oh, your network is your net worth or whatever. But like, I really feel like, you know how they always say it's who you know, but I think it's who knows you, right? Like now I know you. So if you come to me, like I'm interested in this opportunity, I'm more likely to help you than if you knew me and I didn't know you. If you message me, I mean, I'll respond, but like, I'm not as keen to help you as much. So it's kind of like building relationships, not just like transactional relationship, more of like friendship kind of where it's like,
Absolutely.
I got you, like you're my friend. I can actually help you out. That's kind of one advice I would give. Like build true relationships, like actual relationships that you can actually like you both like work like you both need each other. You know what I
I
mean?
definitely no, I
Yeah.
definitely agree because like in
Yeah.
society today, like it's all about like okay, personal branding, reach out to as many recruiters as
Exactly.
possible. But like if you reach out to all these people, they don't even know you. Like you don't even interact with their
Exactly.
content. You don't know
Exactly.
anything about them.
Yeah.
And you're just coming in and saying like, "Hey, I would love to talk to you like for like 30 minutes." Sure, they'll give you
Yeah.
those 30
For
minutes, but like
sure.
are you going to get the most out of it compared to if you had like a relationship with them?
For
And so,
sure.
yes, that is so good.
100%. Yeah.
That is really good. So I have one question though. Like with applying to two free scholarships every week, it means like you had to be finding the scholarships somewhere.
Yeah.
How did you go about finding scholarships?
Yeah, like I mentioned, I did subscribe to a lot of the scholarship platforms out there. But one thing I think worked for me, it was just like in my emails. Like even till today, I have a lot of scholarships just in my emails. Like it could be from like scholarships.com or like Nesby. Like right now, Nesby scholarship will soon close. So if you're an international student looking for scholarships, go apply like today. I think it's closing soon. So, or like Swee's will close January 30th. So those things are always in my emails. Or I'm trying to think, even Microsoft, like I don't even know how I saw it, to be honest. It's usually just floating around somewhere in my email. I apply and I get it. Like I think it's just more about being tapped into your network, right? Like you as well, you're very tapped into your network. That's how you share opportunities with other people. It's kind of similar to me. I think LinkedIn is also a good way to find scholarship. You as well, like you post amazing scholarship. I'm always like, yeah, like here are scholarships,
Yeah.
like so I think just being connected to the right people on LinkedIn you could find scholarships there. Subscribing to all the scholarship websites out there. I currently have a scholarship website, scholistapp.com. So if you're a student, definitely subscribe to our newsletter as well, or check out our website. I'm subscribing to all the scholarship sites out there and opening your news, because a lot of students will open your email. Like it's annoying, but you need to check your emails. And then organizations. I would highly, highly highlight organizational scholarships. So like if you're a sports student, the sports organizations you can apply to their scholarships. Sometimes you might have to pay a fee to be a member, but like be a member and apply, because not a lot of people are applying. Yeah, and those usually give a lot of money. I think I why I even got 60s because I was applying for all the little scholarships. You know what I mean? Like I would apply to like a $5,000 scholarship or a $2,000 scholarship, and it adds up. So yeah.
Exactly. That is so true. So you mentioned having like a platform.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I will. So I created a website. So it's www.scholastapp.com. It's a platform where you can search for scholarships. So we have filters. You can get personalized scholarships when you sign up. We also have coaching. So let's say you're a student that you've never heard about scholarships. You just need to talk to someone that can kind of guide you through the process. Or maybe you want someone to take a look at your essays or maybe practice for interview. We have coaches as well that you can book a session with them, and they could assist you with your scholarship application, your essays, or your interviewing. There are other parts of our website that are still coming up, like our community. I definitely wanted that community aspect because I feel like when I was a student, I would see students write on Reddit, like, who has applied to this scholarship or for advice. And I felt like sometimes no one would respond to them or they would just block them. Also, like, I really wanted a community where people felt comfortable to ask questions about scholarships or maybe talk to past scholarship recipients. I really wanted Scholist App to be that one-stop shop for all things scholarships that I feel like I needed when I was a student and I had to go to different places to get. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I definitely wanted like a one-stop platform. So like on our platform, you can search for scholarships, you can get personalized scholarships, you can get coaching, you can also keep track of your scholarship application. Because when I was a student, I used to use Excel. Like even till today, I kind of still use Excel a little bit, but like on the site, you can just, when you click apply to a scholarship, I would ask you, did you apply, yes or no? If you click yes, it gets stored in your applied scholarships tab. So those are things that I feel like I definitely wanted as a student, and now the website I've created helps other students do. So yeah.
That is so good. Okay. Thank you so much for answering our major questions. Now
You're
we're going to go
welcome.
into rapid fire mode
For
where I will
sure.
ask you some random questions, definitely related to scholarships, but also related to you as a person.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start off with what is one book you're reading right now?
Well, I always tell people I don't read, which is very strange from a scholarship winner, but I actually don't. So I'm
Okay.
more of like a video person, or
Hmm.
like I watch video or a podcast. So I guess one podcast I'm listening to, if that counts, is
It does.
How I Built This by, I think it's Guy Raz or something. So it's more for founders. Like if you want to
Hmm.
hear from different founders, like the founder of Airbnb or the founder of Dell, like there would be like on those podcasts. So that's definitely something I'm listening to right now. And then I guess reading, yeah, I don't. It's so strange. I actually don't read, but I read articles, if that counts.
No,
I
you're good. You're
Yeah,
very good.
yeah,
Like I know some people who say like they wouldn't read actual books, but they'll listen to audiobooks. So like
yeah,
and
yeah,
podcasts also like carry like valuable
yeah,
information. So
yeah, yeah.
I definitely agree. So next question. What's one let me restate this.
Okay.
Okay. What is your most favorite trip from 2024?
Oh, I definitely would say it's my Europe trip, which is
Okay.
crazy because I went to four different countries. I went to London, I went to Greece, I went to France, I guess Paris or whatever, and I went to Italy. So it was so much fun. I think it was also my first time going to Italy, France, and Greece. So for sure, like I was like, yeah, this is definitely my best trip for sure. No, it
That
was
is
it was
awesome.
amazing. Like being able to see the Eiffel Tower, being able to see the cathedral in Italy. Like I think that was my favorite trip for sure.
That is good. Travel
Yeah.
people. It's good to
Yeah.
travel.
It is good. Like you really see the world differently. There's so many things that I was like, oh, why can't, like in America, why can't we do this? Because in Europe, you
Mhm.
have like the covers, like they're like stuck to the bottle, like so
Oh,
you don't have to
yeah,
throw
I've
away.
seen that.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I think it's so cool. I'm like, why don't we have this? So there's so many things that I'm like, yeah, this is some things that are we should definitely implement here. So I think it's definitely amazing to go see other countries for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. For those who want to find you, maybe reach out to you and learn more about Scholist, where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn, like Abidemi Awojuyigbe. You can also email me, abidemi@scholistapp.com. Where else can you find me? Maybe also follow Scholist on Instagram because we post there daily. So at Scholist App, you can DM us because I've had a lot of people DM us like, oh, I would like coaching or I would like whatever. So those are three major ways you could reach out to me: LinkedIn or my email or our Instagram page.
Absolutely. And we'll put all of these on the screen. So, like, if you
Okay.
didn't catch that, don't worry.
Okay.
Last question. What is something, looking back now with all this scholarship information that you know, all of this life information, even, not just scholarship
Yeah.
information that you know,
Yeah.
that you would tell freshmen Abidemi?
That is a good question. I feel like for me, I would probably say like I don't think I would do anything differently with I would say maybe apply earlier, because I think I started learning about scholarships in sophomore year, which was a bit later than some people. Some people know from high school. So I would say start early, like I would definitely say like start early. Don't psych yourself out. Don't be like, oh, I don't qualify. I think that's a lot of things I did earlier on that I think like looking back, I'm like, why? You know, I would be like, yeah, like apply regardless, apply regardless. Like, and then something else I feel like I would say, which is something I'm suffering now, is like, even if you apply and you don't get it, it's
Hmm.
okay. It's okay. Apply again. Like you might you might get it the third time. Sometimes like there's something I've applied for, like, is this grant? I've applied to it like 3 times and they keep denying me, and I'm like, what is going on?
Hmm.
But I'm learning that it's also okay to get rejected as well. Everything you're gonna get. Like I think 2 years ago, every grant I was applying for, I was getting. Like, there was no grant that I applied for that I didn't get. But now it's like slowed down a lot. So I'm just at the stage where I'm figuring that out. And it's just like a student. There's gonna be a time you're gonna be getting scholarships back to back to
Hmm.
back. And then there's gonna be a time you're not gonna get any, and during that time of not getting any, it's okay as well. Like understand rejection, take it in, and apply again. Like I was telling, I can't remember who I was telling. I think it was my mom. Like I take rejection really well. Like
Hmm.
I'm like the best rejection person out there. Like I would literally see like, oh, we're regretting for me, move it to a folder. Like to be honest, for
Yeah.
me, yeah, like it's not. I move it to a folder and I go back to it when I'm applying the next year. For
Yeah.
me, it's not like, oh, I've been rejected, don't apply again. It's I've
Hmm.
been rejected, that's okay. Apply for other things, go back to this next year. So I've really done that with like internships, scholarships, grants. So that's really been my mindset a lot. Just it's okay to get rejections. Just don't dwell on it. Don't be like, oh yeah, I'm not good enough, or like,
Hmm.
yeah, like I hate that I'm not good enough thing. Yeah, like that is like you getting rejected has nothing to do with you. It's just
So
not your
true.
time right now. So yeah, I think
That
that
is so
that's
true.
definitely an advice I would give.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that and relate with it.
Yeah,
I feel like I would tell people like, okay, you can sit with the rejection, but don't marinate in it. Like
for
what a lot
sure.
of people end up doing is like they stay in it for far too long,
For
and
sure.
they're like, it's okay to feel all the feelings, but like keep going, keep going, keep going.
No, 100%. Don't sit in your rejection. They can't accept everyone, right? Go
Hmm.
find someone that would accept you. So yeah, that's 100% what I would say.
Oh my God, that is so beautiful. And that is a wonderful note to end this episode on. Like coming from like a 60-time winner, like I'm sure like there's so many rejections that you've gotten in the process.
For sure.
Like I think whoever's listening to this, keep going.
Keep
You get to
going.
60, you pass 60, you get to 100. And I'm sure like you as a person every day, me, you're still winning so much more.
Yeah.
60 is
Yeah.
even like small compared to like
Yeah.
everything you're still going to do. So
For sure.
stay and hold yourself back because of one rejection.
Hundred
You lose
percent.
all of
100%.
these other chances.
Apply, guys. Apply.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I mean, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on. I
you. This is so lovely. Thank
enjoyed this
you.
episode.
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear stories of people say like, I listened to this episode and I won like this
I
scholarship.
can't I can't wait as well. I just can't wait to see after effect of Scholist. Like I just can't wait to see people being like, this company helped me do this, or like that is really my goal at the end of the day, right? To just hear from people, maybe people that maybe they're in a country filled with war or a country and they just don't have an escape and they just need scholarships to help them. So I think that's really my goal for sure.
Oh my God. You just touched like one part of my heart because like that is why we're doing this. Like to
Yeah,
bring like, awareness and access to like places and people who feel like they don't have it. So
for
I'm
sure.
so glad rooting for Scholars.
Thank you.
Definitely, this is not the last time we're
Oh,
partnering.
girl, I feel like we're gonna partner because I feel like we have so many synergies that I don't see why not. So yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. To everyone who is tuned in, thank you so much for watching
Thank
this
you
episode, and we look forward to bringing you the next one.
for
Bye.
sure. Bye.